Hello, everyone. Welcome to another great lesson with us here at English Listening Moment. My name is George,
And I'm Emma.
and today we're going to be talking about viruses, infections, and how to talk about being sick in English.
Exactly. We're bringing you practical vocabulary that you'll hear in doctors' offices, hospitals, and everyday conversations about health.
Yeah, understanding medical terms related to viruses is really important, especially these days.
So, we're going to teach you some words that you might hear commonly in medical settings, on the news, or when talking with doctors. This is really useful language.
Or even when you're just feeling under the weather and need to explain your symptoms, right?
Well, yeah, let's hope our listeners stay healthy, but it's good to be prepared.
Okay, so let's preview some words in Vocabulary Preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so what's our first word?
Okay, the first word is contagious.
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 So that's pretty important. What does that mean?
Well, when something is contagious, it means it can spread from person to person very easily.
Right.
Like if you have a contagious virus, you can give it to other people through touch, through the air, or through contact.
Yes. So basically, contagious means it spreads easily between people.
Exactly.
Okay, so contagious.
That's contagious. Okay, so let's take a look at our next word, symptoms.
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 So symptoms are the signs that show you're sick.
Right. Like if you have a fever, a cough, or a headache, those are all symptoms.
Exactly. Pretty simple.
Okay, symptoms. And our last word for preview, quarantine.
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 So what is that exactly? That sounds serious.
Basically, it's when you stay separated from other people because you might be sick or you might spread an illness.
You stay isolated.
Yeah,
Okay, so if you go into quarantine, then you stay away from others to prevent spreading the virus.
right.
All right, cool. Okay, so we've previewed these three great words. Now let's listen to our dialogue for the first time. It's going to be at natural speed, and you're going to hear a lot of medical vocabulary. So don't worry if you don't understand everything.
Yeah, we're going to come back and teach you some of the important language. But before we continue, we have a small request for our amazing listeners.
That's right. If you're enjoying this podcast and finding it helpful for your English learning journey, please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, English Listening Moment.
Yes, by subscribing, you'll get notifications whenever we upload new lessons, and you'll be supporting us to create more content for you.
And don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment telling us which topics you'd like us to cover next. Your support means everything to us. Okay, now let's get back to our lesson and listen to the dialogue. Doctor, thank you for seeing me on short notice. I've been feeling terrible for the past 3 days.
Of course. Tell me about your symptoms. When did they start?
Well, it started with a sore throat on Monday morning. Then by evening, I had a high fever and body aches.
Have you been in contact with anyone who was sick recently?
Yes, actually. My colleague at work tested positive for the flu last week. We share an office.
I see. The virus is highly contagious, especially in closed spaces. Are you experiencing any other symptoms? Cough, difficulty breathing?
I have a dry cough that won't go away, and I feel exhausted all the time, even after sleeping.
Those are classic viral infection symptoms. I'm going to run some tests to confirm, but it sounds like you've contracted a respiratory virus.
Is it serious? Should I be worried?
Most viral infections clear up on their own with rest and proper care. However, we need to monitor your symptoms closely. I'm prescribing antiviral medication and recommending you quarantine at home for at least 5 days.
Quarantine? So I can't go to work?
No, you need to stay home to recover and to prevent spreading the virus to others. Make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids, getting rest, and taking the medication as directed.
What about my family? Should they be concerned?
Yes, they should monitor themselves for symptoms. The incubation period for this virus is typically 2 to 5 days. Anyone who's been in close contact with you should be careful.
This is all so overwhelming. I've never dealt with something like this before.
I understand it's stressful, but you're going to be fine. Your immune system is fighting the infection. The medication will help reduce the severity and duration of symptoms.
How long until I feel better?
Most patients start feeling improvement within 3 to 5 days, but full recovery can take 1 to 2 weeks. It's important not to rush back to your normal activities too soon.
Should I be doing anything else besides taking medication and resting?
Yes, keep your temperature monitored. If your fever goes above 39 degrees Celsius, or if you develop difficulty breathing, you need to contact me immediately or go to the emergency room.
Okay, I'll keep track of everything. What about eating? I don't have much appetite.
Try to eat light, nutritious meals even if you don't feel hungry. Soup, fruits, and vegetables are good choices. Your body needs energy to fight off the infection.
And I should stay away from everyone at home?
Ideally, yes. If possible, isolate in a separate room, use a separate bathroom if you have one, and wear a mask when you need to be around family members.
This is going to be difficult, but I'll do whatever it takes to get better and keep my family safe.
That's the right attitude. I'll have the nurse give you an information sheet about home care and warning signs to watch for. Do you have any other questions?
I think you've covered everything. Thank you, doctor. I really appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Take care of yourself and don't hesitate to call if anything changes or if you have concerns. We'll schedule a follow-up appointment for next week.
Wow, that was intense. So many medical terms about viruses and infections.
Yeah, but don't worry. We're going to break down all those important words and phrases.
Let's take a look at our first word, incubation period.
Incubation period.
Incubation period.
Incubation period.
So this is an important medical term.
Exactly. The incubation period is the time between when you're exposed to a virus and when symptoms actually appear.
Right, so you might have the virus but not feel sick yet.
Exactly. During the incubation period, you might already be contagious even though you feel fine.
That's why viruses spread so easily.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's look at our next word, immune system.
Immune system.
Immune system.
Immune system.
So when we talk about the immune system, we're talking about your body's natural defense against infections and diseases.
Right. It's like your body's army.
Great analogy. Your immune system fights off viruses, bacteria, and other harmful things that enter your body.
And when you have a strong immune system, you get sick less often.
Exactly. That's why doctors always recommend eating well, sleeping enough, and exercising to boost your immune system.
Okay, immune system. Let's take a look at our next word, antiviral.
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 Antiviral medication. This is a type of medicine, right?
Yes, antiviral medications are drugs that help fight viral infections. They work by stopping the virus from multiplying in your body.
So they're specifically for viruses, not bacteria.
Right. Antibiotics work on bacteria, antivirals work on viruses. They're different.
That's an important distinction.
Very important. A lot of people get confused about that.
Let's look at our next word, respiratory.
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 Respiratory system. So what does respiratory mean?
Respiratory relates to breathing and your lungs. A respiratory virus affects your breathing system, your nose, throat, and lungs.
Like the flu or a cold.
Exactly. Respiratory infections are very common, especially in winter.
And they're usually contagious.
Very contagious, yes.
Okay, stabilize. Let's look at our last word, isolation.
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 This is similar to quarantine, right?
Yes, very similar. When you're in isolation, you stay completely separated from other people to prevent spreading an infection.
So you stay in a separate room, away from everyone.
Exactly. Isolation is used when someone is already sick, while quarantine is sometimes used for people who might have been exposed but aren't sick yet.
That's a good distinction to know.
Yes, both are important strategies to control the spread of viruses.
Okay, so it's time for us to listen to our dialogue again. And now, try to catch all of these medical terms that we've just talked about. And then we'll come back and explain a few phrases. Okay, so there are some really good phrases in this dialogue.
Yeah, a couple of useful expressions.
Okay, so let's take a look at these phrases in putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, so what's our first phrase today?
Under the weather.
Under the weather.
Under the weather.
So when we say someone is under the weather, we mean they're feeling sick or not well.
Exactly. It's a gentle way to say you're not feeling good. Not seriously ill, just not your best.
Right, like you might say, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I'm staying home.
Perfect example. It's a very common expression in English.
Let's look at our next phrase, fighting off.
Fighting off.
Fighting off an infection.
So when your body is fighting off a virus, it means your immune system is working to defeat the infection.
Right, you're battling against the illness.
Exactly. We use this phrase a lot when talking about getting better from sickness.
Like, my body is fighting off the flu.
Perfect.
One final phrase for you, coming down with.
Coming down with.
Coming down with something.
Coming down with something.
So when someone is coming down with something, they're starting to get sick.
Right. The symptoms are just beginning. You're not fully sick yet, but you can feel it starting.
Like, I think I'm coming down with a cold. My throat feels scratchy.
Exactly right. It's that early stage when you first notice symptoms.
Great phrase to know.
Very useful in everyday conversation.
Okay, so now it's time for us to listen to our dialogue again. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you about a time when I dealt with a viral infection. Okay, Emma, so what happened? What was your experience?
Well, it was actually last winter. I started feeling really tired and had a terrible headache.
That sounds like the beginning of something serious.
Yeah, at first I thought it was just stress from work, but then the next day I woke up with a high fever and body aches.
Oh no, so you knew something was wrong.
Definitely. I could barely get out of bed. Everything hurt, and I had this dry cough that wouldn't stop.
Did you go to the doctor?
Yes, I called my doctor and they told me to come in right away. They tested me and confirmed I had influenza, the flu virus.
That's rough. The flu can really knock you out.
It absolutely did. The doctor prescribed antiviral medication and told me I needed to quarantine at home for at least a week.
How did your family handle it?
Well, I tried to stay in my bedroom as much as possible. I wore a mask when I had to come out, and I used hand sanitizer constantly. Luckily, nobody else in my family got sick.
That's good. How long did it take you to recover?
The worst part lasted about 5 days. I had a fever for 3 days straight, and I was so weak I could barely walk to the bathroom. But after about a week, I started feeling more like myself again.
And did you have any complications?
Fortunately, no, but my doctor warned me to watch for warning signs like difficulty breathing or chest pain. Those would mean the virus was getting worse.
It's scary how serious viruses can be.
Absolutely. That experience really taught me the importance of getting the flu vaccine every year and washing hands regularly.
Great advice. Prevention is always better than treatment.
Exactly. And I want our listeners to know that if they ever experience severe symptoms, they shouldn't wait. Get medical help right away.
That's really important advice. Thanks for sharing your story, Emma.
Of course, I hope it helps our listeners understand these medical terms better and know what to do if they get sick.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's lesson. We hope you learned a lot about talking about viruses and infections in English.
Remember, practice using these words and phrases in your daily life. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become.
And if you enjoyed this lesson, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, English Listening Moment, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video.
Share this with your friends who are learning English too. We're here to help you improve every day.
Until next time, stay healthy, everyone.
Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next lesson.